Canada's favorite rotisserie chicken, cranberry sauce, stuffing, Lindor chocolates, and a scratch and win card where everyone's a winner. It's a tradition truly worth sharing. The festive special, only at Swiss Chalet.
It's funny, Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Swiss Chalet Women's Curling Stadium Spiel here at the Curling Stadium North Bay. I'm Jim Nix. I'm joined with my partner and colleague, Terry Corbin, for first round action in our Spiel. And today's game featuring a team at least a name we're certainly familiar with, Laurie St. George's, and a team that maybe most of you aren't as familiar with in Julia Markle. We'll talk a little bit more about the teams as we get going, Terry. So what do you think?
Looking forward to this. Laurie's got kind of a new lineup. Certainly, from my perspective, anyway, Jamie Sinclair at the third position brings a lot of experience. And then when you look at who's playing front end and lead, Lisa Weigel.
Yeah, exactly. Now looking at the throws here, we didn't really watch practice, so I'm thinking perhaps Lisa's not here for this game. Now she might be playing mixed doubles somewhere and not available this weekend, but certainly wasn't available to throw that one or sweep that one. So we'll figure that out as we go too. They don't send us a little cheat sheet at the start to tell us who's playing and who's not.
Yeah, because she played mixed doubles last week, I think, with John Nepping.
Yeah, probably so. They've been playing mixed doubles for a while, and I know there is a mixed double Spiel on, as there is most weekends, but certainly is this weekend as well. So, we'll sort that out as we go, and we'll let you know who's here and who's not here, and we'll get this one underway. So as I mentioned, 24 teams in this Spiel, Terry, pretty big field.
You know what? I mean, optics is for some people, it's everything, and anybody who thinks that curling is kind of on the decline. I mean, this Spiel and the one I think it was last week certainly doesn't indicate it when you have 24 women's teams competing for prize money.
Yeah, and I think was last week. I think we might have had 22 women's teams, and and they're playing for an okay purse, but it's not huge money. So it's obviously there's a room out there for teams that are trying to get to that next level and play in some Spiels, get some competition in. And purse for this one, $10,000, which is nothing to sneeze at, but it's not going to draw your big teams most of the time because they're just playing in the big events, if you will, like this weekend Slam, for example. But,
exactly.
Yeah, but anyways, it should be good. We have pool. It's a pool format. We'll sort out the playoffs later as we go, and looks like 8 teams will make the playoffs eventually, and we'll sort that out. It's and there's, as I mentioned, there's a lot of new teams that we haven't seen yet this year, and maybe perhaps are new to you as they might be new to us. But we've got some common names like Laurie St. George's and a couple others that we'll see as we come along, and yeah, should be good. So looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, with the platform that curling's provided these tier 2 teams, I think that's been a real boost to the curling fields that we're starting to see. I felt like there was a big lull there for a long time where, we had those teams that, they spieled, but that's what they would have called it. They would have called it spieling, and it was more camaraderie and a lot of fun. And when they kind of went to a highly competitive kind of Spiel, those teams just dropped out. So there seemed to be a lull, but I think we're getting back a few more teams. I mean, I think the most difficult part is keeping some of these younger teams, together and keeping them involved in the game as they hit, they leave university and start out on their own and creating families that, it makes it hard to, compete like they were in the junior level.
Yeah, exactly. And, the team here with Julia Markle might be an example of that. I did a little research on her before we got started, and it looks like she was pretty active at the junior level, but she was played under 18s in 2019. So she's only 22 or 23 years old. And at least at the skipping position, doesn't appear to have played a lot in the last few years. Certainly don't have a lot of results from under her name. So, it's quite possible she took some time off to dwell on school or just play socially or whatever. But for whatever reason, she hadn't been around for a bit, but she's back at it now. So
Yeah, I saw her. Excuse me, Jim. She was playing with the Brock Badgers university team. Got a chance to see her out a couple of times
okay,
in the university curling. So
yeah.
yeah, last year she did play with Brock.
Oh, okay. So perhaps that's why we just haven't seen her name necessarily. The University of Curling is certainly great curling, but
Oh
it's not
yeah,
curling that we see all through the year. So, um, yeah, it's pretty exciting though, having had the opportunity to coach my daughter at the nationals at the CISs a couple times, and it was yeah, it's it's very good fields.
oh,
Yeah.
there's some really good curling going
So
on there.
now that we've talked our way through most of the first stand, Terry, we'll probably get
Yeah,
back to the game a little bit here. We did as much filling in as we can for now, and we'll go from here. So we've got St. George's with hammer, and we've got Markle throwing what looks like just a draw attempt, a little bit of a come around, maybe freeze if Plan B happens. A little bit of trouble here, but does have a lot of center stuff to work with.
yeah, and now that you're at Vice Rocks, this is kind of that critical setup shot. I think always believed that my first the Vice Rocks was kind of that make or break um, point where you're either all in or after this shot, or you're feeling pretty good about
Yeah,
yourself.
this shot's
This looks
looking
pretty
pretty
good.
good. Sweepers are
Yeah,
sweeping, but they're not going crazy. So it looks like she might have a dandy here. She'd
yeah,
like to get to it or get buried, one of the two. Looks like she might not accomplish either a little bit, but a really nice effort for the first
yep,
stand. It's interesting, Terry, listening to you say vice. I've often thought about over the years where how the third position in curling for some reason has been called a lot of things. We used to call them the mates, and they've been
yep,
called the
yep.
vices, vice skip, vice, and where I am now, everybody just calls them the third. So it's like,
Right.
so it's kind of funny how had such different names, and it still does depending on where you live.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, and it too has changed, with curling changing and some of the new rules. And I know that when I was playing, you were looking for the second that could throw the big high heavy ones.
Yeah,
And now, I mean, people aren't able to play those kind of wild hits anymore at
no.
at the second position because of the three guard or the four guard zone rule.
Yeah. And
And
you and I were playing, Terry, and then it looked like this was like once every 3 games.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can remember playing those 2-1 games.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
No matter where they threw it, you were hitting it.
Yeah. So
But
Julie Markle's third, Paige Brown now will be looking to lock one on here, or actually
mhm.
maybe not sure if she played. Oh, she's playing straight come around. Maybe that's the
uh,
problem with this shot. You kind of got to commit to one or the other. And she talked about playing the hit and roll, and then talked about a draw. So I'm not totally sure where it's going to end up, but it looks like a freeze to me.
I love the freeze personally, but I mean, I know that it leaves rocks available to also freeze on. But um, if you can bury it, I think that is the shot.
Yeah.
The freeze is to me the bailout shot a bit.
Yeah, and that's where you've got to decide because it's getting late in the end. So an almost great shot by Markle's third. Still looks to be probably 3/4 buried, and if it could have went another foot, it would have been really really
Oh,
good.
yeah, real good.
So St. George's is going to ask Sinclair to try to remove this one. Jamie looking for a little bit more ice. She's done a lot of skipping in her time. She's played for both countries and obviously holds a dual citizenship of some sort to enable her to do so. So um,
Yeah.
she's a pretty fun person to watch too on social media with her construction work and everything else that she does. She's done curling videos and all kinds of stuff. So working hard on this one, trying to get a buy. Looks pretty good. Will she get by? She
Oh,
did.
that's
That's a
by. That's a
great
great
shot.
shot.
Just a wonderful shot. Good thing she took that extra 2 inches of ice, I would say, because she used it all.
Yes, yes. However, well, we'll get another look at this, how close it comes to the guard and, one sweeper, and she's
Yeah.
leaning on it pretty good here.
Yeah. Obviously, a pretty powerful sweeper. This is
Yep.
it's Emily Riley. And great job, yeah, and really nice shot. And um, Julia better make a good one here. It's going to be a long first end.
Yeah, the one thing I guess, by her making that shot and staying there, if she chose to play kind of the same shot that has just been thrown, she might be able to like just chap off that and get right in behind the garbage out front.
Yeah, I agree. And it's also, you're kind of at a point now when you count them up, it's like, once you have four in there, what difference does it make if there's four or five or six, to be honest? So
That's right.
I think it's all those are big numbers. So yeah, it wouldn't take much, just a hair over regular draw weight and maybe a little bit of inside flop. Certainly going to be not light by the look of that slide.
No, but and they've played this shot several times,
Yeah,
or she's at least seen it. But she's got to
should
get
be
this roll.
really good. Oh,
But she makes the double.
she did make the double. Yeah, but I don't know if that might have been an added bonus. I'm pretty sure they weren't really giving that one some thought there. I wouldn't think, anyways.
Yeah, I think that they were more concentrated on the roll. Now I don't know if you can make the roll and the double. If we
No.
ever go back to having a replay of that, maybe we could see. But yeah, I wasn't. There we go.
No.
We got a great production crew.
They do. You can see this one coming in, just sweeping it. They actually needed to make it curl a little bit more. They actually held it a
That's
little
right.
too straight for the roll. So they might have had the double in their mind as well. But either way, a good shot for
Yes.
Julia for getting hopefully out of massive trouble here in this end.
Yes.
Laurie St. George's. Laurie burst on the scene back in 2021 on the ladies' side on the Tournament of Hearts. Played the last 4 years now in the Scotties representing Quebec. And her first year was actually her best year record wise, but playing this probably board weight, I think, Terry, something like that, hacker board.
I would think so. Yeah. This is kind of close to the guard as well, but she's well by it.
Impressed with Emily Riley sweeping. Like she looks like a very strong sweeper.
Yeah, yeah.
Tough call here.
Yes. So what do you do here? Do you try and sink one, or do you try and make the double and roll?
Man, I'll tell you, I personally, I'm leaning towards playing the hit and hopefully make the double.
Yeah, all day.
Yeah. I just don't like the possibility of playing a come around and then maybe you don't quite bury and you drop four here.
Yeah.
Make a decent shot here. You'll get out of this with two. And worst case scenario, three, which I don't want to give up three, but
That's right.
I like three a whole lot better than four in this situation.
Yeah.
And a couple options, right? You could make the double. I don't like you said on the last shot. I'm not sure you can make the double and roll, but you could make the double or you could make the roll, which would be, the roll would probably be perfect if you could get it buried, but the double's not bad at all either. Julia Markle setting in, yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably taking the double as my second alternative. I'm probably trying to make the roll all day.
Yeah.
This looks
trying
like
to make
it's
this one
out there.
Well, she's gonna be close,
To the double?
Yeah. She had enough weight. Well, great job.
Oh, great shot. Yeah, she got it out there. Good.
Yeah. Terrific start for Julia Markle. It's her delivery is a little bit interesting. You'll see it here with the roll. Just our sweeper on the left. I'm not sure who's who here yet.
Yes.
Does a great job of making that bend a little bit. Good ice call by the third and gets a two. And considering 2 shots ago, they were looking at possibly 4. They did well here no matter what Laurie does on this shot. Pretty sure.
Yeah, this is a win.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Even though you're giving up potentially 2, she makes 2 doubles on her rocks and can breathe a sigh of relief.
It's sort of a skips deuce in reverse. A
That's
skips.
right.
You don't usually have those skips deuce being given up too, but she did a hell of a job just giving up 2 here. So, yeah.
And this isn't in the books yet. So.
No, exactly. Yeah. Laurie St. George's coming off last weekend's event in Halifax at the Stu Sells Halifax Classic.
Mm-hmm.
This one looks like it might have to curl a little bit too to me.
You know what? I think you're right.
This is going to be hard pressed to have this stay. Might not get it out.
No, she's not staying for sure. What a switch of events here.
Yeah, for sure. Laurie St. George's will pick up one here, take a 1-0 lead over Julia Markle in North Bay, Ontario. And we'll be back after the break.
Gripper first.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it. Yellow.
Come on up. Okay, well, what do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
'Tis the season to enjoy Swiss Chalet's festive special. Canada's favorite rotisserie chicken, cranberry sauce, stuffing, Lindor chocolates, and a scratch and win card where everyone's a winner. Your favorite tradition, the festive special. Only $17.99, only at Swiss Chalet.
Good day and welcome back here to North Bay, Ontario, and the Swiss Chalet Women's Curling Stadium Spiel. An exciting first end that certainly turned around, Terry, as we got to the skip shots.
Wow, yeah, I'll say when Team Markle got into the hack, I mean, she was looking at 4. She makes a double, and St. George makes her first shot, and Julia makes another double, and then Laurie hits and rolls out, so only gets one, and that has to really elevate the energy level of Team Markle for sure.
Yeah, I would think it's a little bit like winning the lottery here in the first
That's
end.
right.
It's, and so now Markle will have hammer, and she'll draw on her experience as a skip of last year's runner-up of the Canadian U21s in trying to develop a deuce in this end.
Yeah, I mean, certainly when you take a look at how that end evolved and then certainly finished, I mean, you weren't expecting that. And as we said, like when St. George went down to throw her last rock, I mean, it wasn't a given she was just going to hit and stay. I mean, she's quite an accomplished curler. She's been to 3 Canadian junior curling championships. Her and her well, at least then partner, Alec, not Alex,
Felix,
yes. I think they won the mixed.
They did. They won the Canadian mixed in I think 2023, and
Yeah,
for the bronze medal at the World. So
yeah. So I mean, she's quite the accomplished curler, but I mean, every day is different. Every
Yeah.
season's different. Just you go out there, you play, and see what happens. And certainly, Marco would be considered, I think, the underdog here.
yeah, I think that's fair to say. I mean, St. George is ranked number 34 in the world right now, and despite having probably a pretty new team and having a little bit of a rough start, a couple of DNQs in the early going, but the Stu Cells events in Oakville and Toronto, and finishing 5th at the Stu Cells in Halifax and the Shorty Jenkins Spiel. So, they're not setting the world on fire yet, but a multi-talented team. When you get all 4 of them here, they could do very well when they get to that time, get to crunch time of the Scotties and such. So,
Yeah, I mean, I would just suspect that she would be, if she's not the favorite, she'd be a co-favorite come Scotty's time to get out of the province of Quebec.
yeah, I'm sure that's probably fair to say. No disrespect to anybody else in Quebec, but right now they seem to be the only team from Quebec that's playing in any of the more major events. So we got to come around here, going hard to try to sneak it by the front center guard. It's going to get a little rub, I think. You want to get that as far over as you can to prevent a roll.
Yeah, the
Pretty
only
late.
other one that I've seen on the tour really, and I haven't seen a lot of her, but I mean I don't follow the curling as closely as I used to. But the only one that I've seen out from the area of the province of Quebec is Laura Mann.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jamie Sinclair playing her first of 3, playing for the roll. It's going to be really close by the look of it. We'll roll far. No, not going to quite go. A little less lively than I thought. Maybe the
Yeah.
some rocks are a little more lively than others. I'm sure these are great, and we don't always have the best angle, but I would have thought that might have rolled a little bit more than that, but it certainly opens the door for Markle to make the inside roll. You're going to roll behind the opposition's guards, which isn't ideal, but it's better than being wide open.
That's right. And you can't, I mean, rolling to the wings is not really an option because of that back blue stone in the 12-foot there.
Yeah. This one's going to roll.
Yeah, off the guard. Yeah. Ooh, that just cut off your back one on the back 12.
Yeah, everybody looked a little bit surprised with that one. That one did certainly curled hard, so.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from our vantage point whether she maybe got that started or she just kind of threw it not well.
Yeah, and it's the second end, so certainly ice knowledge is not quite there yet. You know, the first end is always as you know, and everybody knows now, the first practice times are spent basically 100% on trying to win the draw to the button. So you really don't see much other than the one path of whatever it takes to draw the button. So about where Laurie's standing now, and you just see rock after rock after rock in that path, and that's almost it. So,
yeah,
Jamie Sinclair, certainly a nice delivery for Jamie. It's always thrown the stone really, really well whenever I've seen her, which hasn't been super often, but playing the come around here. This is
yeah, it's gonna curl a whole bunch.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you might as well go back as far as you can. You got that blue one to rest up on.
Yeah. Open this door, though, for Markle. It certainly doesn't hurt the Markle team. It's, you had a chance to put a little more heat on than that. But, again, second end. Going to give everybody a little bit of room here to feel things out. So, third stone for Julia Markle, Paige Brown. This team plays out of Navan, Ontario, which is about 20 kilometers east, I think, of Ottawa.
Yeah, it's up and around there, that's for sure.
Yeah. This looks close to making the roll. Well,
it definitely might roll too far. Yeah.
You might want to roll it behind this one. Yeah, kind of too far and kind of not far enough, but it's not bad. Certainly, again, a rock that's not really in a position is going to hurt you too much, but I would have loved to have buried that behind something.
Yes.
Which would probably have been the center one, really, to be honest. It would have been hard to call that roll behind that. I'm going to call it a corner guard, even though it's in the 12-foot. It would have been hard to roll there and still be shot rock.
Mm-hmm.
Little outturn hit for Jamie Sinclair. Probably not real big weight on this, I don't think.
Yeah, I would think just a board-controlled weight.
Laurie calling the sweeping on. You can see the hand signals. It might be a little bit loud out there. We don't hear out there. This one's curling hard.
Yeah, it's
not going to be
on the guard or
might roll behind the guard.
Not enough weight, I don't think.
No, that was pretty light. That was barely backline, if that.
Yeah. That may have just been a weight shot that wasn't executed. Like you say, we can't hear them. We don't know what the weight call was, but
yeah. Sometimes those first couple hands, I think, as teams develop. I know last night we played our game in the club against a junior team, and we were chatting a little bit as we were going on because I do a little work with them, and just wanted them to make sure that first hand, just be a little careful in the first couple hands. You don't need to finesse weights too much. Like, make sure if anything you're throwing it a little bit too hard, because that's really, do you overthrow one in the first couple hands?
Yeah, we used to always, kind of give the lead one side of the sheet and the second the other side of the sheet kind of map out for the skip.
Yeah. This looks really nice here.
Yeah, it
Coming
does.
around, if it stays above the tee line, it's pretty good. It's going to slide back a little bit further than she would have liked for sure. Interesting. Laurie St. George is looking at whether or not to play the slash. She's not even looking at the outturn draw, which is interesting because it's certainly there.
It is. I mean, I kind of like this. It's just which one do you want to hit first? I
Yeah.
mean, are you all in on the, slash into the middle? Because if you are, you're probably losing your shooter.
Yeah.
And or are you trying to, almost nose it and leave your shooter right there?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think she'll be trying to make the slash, if you will. I think
Yep.
that would be plan A. You could end up with a slash, possibly double. I think they're set up. It's a little
Oh,
bit
you
hard to
could,
see
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So Laurie's settling into the hack here.
I used to always just say, "Is there a hole there? Because if there is, I can find it."
Yeah, I think there is, but yeah, just try to hit it someday. It won't be there.
That's right,
Yeah.
Well, she hasn't got the slash for sure.
No, she's going to get one, but that's all.
Yeah.
So
I
Markle
think,
in pretty good position now to get her two.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think this situation, that result favors Markle. I mean, she can now play hit on that red one, or she can come right in behind again and look at 3.
Yeah. I really like the come around as long as they're ready to play the come around, if you know what I mean. As long
Yep,
as they
I
have a really
do,
good sense
yes.
of the ice and if they have a really good sense of the weight. If you're not sure of both of those, or not 100% sure of both those, just make the open hit, sit there, and you're in pretty good shape. So,
Mhm.
she won't probably play a double if you make that and hit it on the nose. She's probably going to try to hit and roll or something like that. And I like that better. But she's confident enough to say, well, let's go around, and that gives you a chance at 3, which you don't get a lot of chances at 3 sometimes. So, so give her kudos for that.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Bison, I say to the skip, what are we looking at? We looking at trying to score our 2, which was our initial objective,
Yeah.
or we have an opportunity to potentially get 3. Are we all in?
Yeah, that's the key, isn't it? Like, I mean, like you say, you start off looking for 2, and that's really the goal. But at some point, when the opportunity for 3 comes, are you ready to take it? And is it worth the risk sometimes, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I personally like going in behind, but yeah, it's a like you said, it's what you think you know. I mean, if you know the weight, I mean, I don't think there was any question they knew the line. Unfortunately, that didn't get the desired result that they were hoping for. And now probably lets St. George off the hook, and that she might be able to make the double. It would have to be a edge on edge, I think, going around. But
Yeah, it would be really tight. Yeah.
yeah,
But you're right. I think that's one where, again, we talked last week a lot about the communication with sweepers, and it's not easy. So I don't mean it for a second to make it sound like it's easy, but as
Oh,
sweepers there, if you know the weight really well, and you know that's about what you're looking at, that you got to take that rock back another foot or
back.
something,
Yeah,
or a couple
yeah,
feet even. Just, you can still stay for number 2, but take it back a little bit so you don't set up a big pocket or a double or something like that. And
yeah.
it's not easy sometimes to make those decisions, but that's the challenge of being a sweeper at the world class level kind of thing, to be able to make those decisions. So
That's right. And and there's 2 of you there. I mean, you can bounce information quickly off to each
exactly.
other and say, "Hey, I'd like to go.
Yeah.
We're just a tad bit heavy," or "Hey, let's wait this out," or whatever you need to do to communicate, and then communicate that down to the back end.
Yeah. And you got to try to do that before your rock gets to like the 12-foot.
Yeah.
It gets to be a real challenge when all of a sudden the 12-foot, the skip's getting the right information. So Laurie St.
Yeah.
George's is going to play what looks like a little bit of a tap out, hit and roll, probably something like that. I don't think, like you say, I don't think the double is is there. If it is, it's just barely there. And I don't know if you'd ever play it tight enough to do that.
Yeah, I don't think you do, but this
Emily's
might
trying to make
be,
this one curl.
yeah, this might be another, opportunity to score two for the team with Lost Rock, and we'll see very shortly. But this
Yeah.
looks like she's just watched it come down. She's thrown kind of a you know back four weight shot in her first one. They should really know the ice here, and I'm sure that the weight won't be an issue.
I would agree. I think that, yeah, that was a good shot by Laurie. It didn't come up as much as she wanted, but I think everything about it was the right idea. Maybe just an inch or two too much ice, um, and now Julia has a chance to kind of duplicate that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it looks like both the same ice, and trick here not to overthrow it for sure, and not
Yeah, that's
underthrow
the
it. So I
key.
guess that's the trick all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So
it's funny because so many times you say normal, but then you get in the hack and you're throwing it, and you're removing a rock, and you can just it's easy, I think, just to add that little extra
yeah,
to the
yeah,
shot.
yeah, it is. It's like when you ask the front end to throw a double and just throw normal weight.
Yeah, yeah,
It's never normal weight.
yeah. Good
So,
peel.
yeah, Julia Markle with her last rock here in the second end, looking for two. Mine looks pretty good. So he was just trying to make it bend a little. It's got to come a little bit more yet. I think it's going to get there. It's going to be close though.
Looks
And
pretty
she
good.
does. And she will stay for two. Very nice shot by Markle. Good start for Julia Markle. Score of two here in the second end. I think she's 4 for 4 more or less with her shots. So that's a good start as well. We'll
Well,
be
and
back.
I would say she's 6 for 4.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back in just a minute.
Hey Canada, head on down to Montana's for our 50-day aged 7-ounce sirloin flame grilled with 2 sides and onion rings, all for just $25.99 every day. Premium steak without a premium price. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, Spiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
We better,
For sure, yeah. Yeah, so we're back for the third end, and it's, at the Swiss Chalet Women's Curling Stadium Spiel here in North Bay, Ontario. Score 2 for Markle in the second end has given her a 2-1 lead. Well played end by Markle there, and really Laurie St. George's, could have made a perfect roll and gotten out of it, but it was almost looking like a 2 from half the end on there, Terry.
Yeah, and they got they kind of got that one out, and they weren't able to capitalize. Team St. George's and Markle held the deuce and right to the end. So, and like you say, I mean, she has not missed yet. So, after watching her 2 shots in the first end, you kind of think that was pretty routine. The degree of difficulty was 0.
Yeah, she threw a couple doubles, and then this end to get her 2, she threw just a hack weight shot. So
yeah,
come around here, just the intern kind of freeze to the red one's not going to quite get there. A little bit light. maybe a little bit tight. Who knows? But it's just by the way, just to run you down the lineup, that's Emma Rebel plays lead for the Markle team. Kaylee Delaney is our second stone, and Paige Brown is the mate vice third, whichever way you like to say it. That's who she is. So. Emily Riley, as we mentioned, you certainly have noticed that Laurie St. George is playing with three here, so we sort of have this debate every week. It's sort of have a lead and third positions playing, and as they split up the seconds duties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good shot there for Emily.
Yep.
Looks like bumper weight on this shot too. So a little tap on the hip. That's usually means bumper weight, board weight. Second stone, Kaylee Delaney. Trying to make this one curl. They're trying to get the inside roll, but probably not going to quite get there.
Yeah, just kind of a nose hit.
Talk about how pronunciation is always tough. Got a message this week thanking me from a mother of one of the players, and we won't name them so they don't get embarrassed. It's thanking us for pronouncing your son's name right last week, and said, "Rarely do they get it right. You guys had it right, so thanks very much for doing so." That was kind of neat.
Yeah. So last weekend, isn't that funny? Now I forget who it is. Maybe I'll think of it later. Anyway, my partner kept saying, for every time I mispronounce the name, he said to the curling audience, "You get to take a drink." And I told him, I said, if that's the rule of the game, there's gonna be a lot of fans out there that will not be horizontal by the end of the game, because my pronunciation of some names is just terrible.
A lot of people watching the event last week. I'm sure it'll be the same as we move on through this weekend, as we share the spotlight with the slam being held in Nisku, Alberta. Playing the hit here, just a little bit of hit, an inside flop for the Markle squad. Looks a little wide on the slide, but like you don't really see it that good. So trying to make it curl here now. Going to be a very good shot. Well done. Would have liked to have offered a little more protection of that back one for sure, but another board weight shot.
Yep.
Kind of the universal signal. It's kind of interesting. So every team has different signals for normal and hack and peel and all that kind of stuff. Lots of teams have different ones, but for that board weight, everybody almost uses the same symbol. Jamie Sinclair. Laurie's got the hand signals going again. This one's curling pretty hard, actually. She'll need if she's going to make the roll. Looks like a nose.
Like a nose hit, yeah.
They look like they're going to go, Terry. They look like they're crossing.
I know.
But they just don't quite get there. It's interesting.
So now Markle, without the hammer, is going to try and hit this, and I'm sure she'd like to roll to the far side here with this a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is getting high enough now that it would be tough to roll in behind it, and if you did, you'd be right behind it. But still, I think roll to the open side over there in the middle of the 8-foot somewhere is a pretty good spot.
Yeah, and I mean, if they can sweep this, they're going to get the roll. But like you say, they look like they're going to bust harder than they do. But she just gets that on the nose, and they may have been satisfied with that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it looked like they were trying to keep it straight, but they won't be too disappointed with that, like because it's definitely worked its way up so far now that rolling behind the guard is not really a great result.
Yeah.
So Laurie St. George says when we were better off trying to roll across the house, get in the vicinity at least of the other blue stone, where you might get a
Hmm.
have a mistake, make a mistake. Plus, they haven't really been over there, so it's a little easier to make a mistake sometimes when
That's
you haven't
right.
been there. Jamie Sinclair, the out turn hit. Jamie's got enough weight on this one. They curl right up to there, and they just don't seem to go any further. Oh, that was pretty solid weight, but a very nice shot by Jamie Sinclair.
Yep.
Sometimes you just have to take what you have, right? Like there's
That's
not a
right.
lot of
Eh?
ways to do it. They're trying to get two, but there's not a lot of ways to get two right now unless you're going to totally ignore everything. And in a 2-1 game after two ends, that's not usually what you're going to do. So
Yeah, I just got a text that told me Lauren Mann is from North Bay, and I said I just said I don't think so. The team might be playing out of there, but I don't think that she is. But again, don't really know. So if anybody wants to chime in and let us know where Lauren Mann's playing out of this year competitively, that'd be great.
yeah, we get a lot of viewers that know sometimes a lot more about what we know than what we know about some things. It looks like a miss here.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
just as we said, now that was not really that far over, but just a little bit of a new piece of ice and a very, very easy shot. So, not a good miss. The no misses are good misses, but not one you expect to make, especially when you're sitting three. So,
Wow, it was interesting. I listened to Jennifer Jones there say that they had a kind of a little thing on their team, like, you gotta make the easy ones. And I'm thinking there's easy shots in curling.
mm,
But I mean that part is true. Like those wide open ones, because you are gonna miss those, more difficult shots. And so the degree of difficulty on that was, minimal.
yeah,
So I think, when you do miss those are like yikes.
I don't think
Uh,
Emily Blunt's going to get or Emily Blunt. She's an actress, right? Emily Riley is going to get that one there, and sure enough, she didn't. Again, another little bit of a new path, and Jamie obviously very much under through that one. That was, she's whatever that is, 10 feet short of the house, something.
mhm.
So a big
And there
underthrow there.
there was quite a discussion between the thrower and the sweeper, and then Laurie engaged in some conversation. So I think that's probably what they were talking about.
Yeah,
Did that grab something? Is it just a slow piece, a slow area on the ice? Like how is that so short when you've thrown it in the rings? So,
that's right. Yeah.
and that information will all be valuable moving
Yeah.
forward.
So I did find that Markle and Laurie St. George's have actually played each other one other time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what event rather, but they played in December of 2023, and Markle won that game 7-5. Obviously, it's a good chance these teams weren't the exact same teams back then, but maybe they were at least in part. So they did play each other, and like I said, I didn't quite see the event, but going through Wikipedia sometimes is takes a little while to figure it all out. So the same open hit we have here, just rock moved over a couple inches for Julia Markle. And
Geez,
going hard to
this is
finish
taking
this
off
one.
too, eh?
Yeah,
Because they didn't jump that out of her hand.
no, no. So it obviously there's a spot there where it's definitely going to go, and you're going to have to be aware of that. That's two rocks in a row now. Like you say, they didn't jump it, so that would indicate it wasn't that she was really tight or had turned it in or anything like that. It just moved, and lots of weight on that one. It was plenty firm enough, so
Yeah, no,
and
that
there's
had some
just a
juice
spot
on
where
it.
it curls. Or St. George's figures, okay, that's enough of that. Let's try to generate our deuce here with come around and hopefully can get a miss out of Markle and pick up her two. And so what, 5 feet, almost 5 feet of ice.
Yeah.
I think Emily's probably telling her to throw it harder than Jamie did. It's my only words of advice.
Yeah, there's only one of me.
Yeah, I don't mind sweeping, but I don't want to wear it all out in the third hand here. There's St. George's at the out turn on its way. Lots of rotation. And all kinds of room right now.
Yeah. She could
And
play on
probably a
team
little bit
home.
heavy by the look of Emily's following that one.
Yeah.
Might stay, but if it does, it's going to be way at the back. And they will get it out, probably. Can't
Close.
see it. Well, far enough, anyways.
Yeah, that's right. It's third shot. So
Number 3. Was enough curl, though. That ice was probably right, Terry, when you look at where it is now. If you take 6 feet off of that and
Yeah.
figure it's going to curl even more, it definitely was the right ice. Julia's taking less, a little bit less
yeah.
at least. Yeah. It's interesting watching the handle everybody puts on it now. Even at club level, you see this happening, and
Yeah.
it's almost, the extension that we used to have, no extension years ago, as you know, but then the extension thing comes out, and everybody goes through an extension, and now it's beyond extension. Now it's almost like a push on every shot, and I'm not sure I'm in love with it, but that just might be my age coming through. I don't know.
Well, I've always had one, so
Yeah. Yeah. I had an extension, but I don't have that big pop that everybody does. Maybe I haven't played in those ice conditions that we needed that. So here's the outturn come around for Julia Markle, looking to put this behind the guard and above the tee line.
this has definitely got better line.
Yeah, certainly not a lot of weight though.
No, I was going to say they may have to pick that up and get it there to get it there.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. I don't think they haven't quite got it figured out here yet as far as speed, because even that one, as light as that was, the sweepers really didn't do anything on it early, and by the time they did, it really was never going to get it there. So just those paths, they just got to pick up on all those paths, and it's hard. There's like so many different paths. The rock, the running edge of the rock is only I don't know, what is it, 6 inches wide or something like that, with a couple little running edges, and so there can be a whole lot of different paths down the sheet, is what I'm saying. So St. George is now drawing against 2. Big shot early in the game, but a big shot. You don't want to give up a steal here on something like this. You only have to hit the full 12 foot.
Yeah, I was going to
She'll
say
be close.
these are considered biters, so
Yeah. So Emily Riley just cleaning right now. Going a little bit harder now. They tell me it's close.
yeah, I got 13.6 on that.
Yeah. So probably a little bit behind the tee line, but not bad. So that's good.
Good enough for one.
Yeah, pretty good speed. That makes it probably about a 24-second shot. So that's good. So after 3 hands, we are tied up at 2 here at the Swiss Chalet Women's Curling Stadium, Spiel in North Bay. We will be back after this message.
Swiss Chalet's Festive Special is back. Canada's favorite rotisserie chicken, cranberry sauce, stuffing, Lindor chocolates, and a scratch and win card where everyone's a winner. It's a tradition truly worth sharing. The Festive Special, only at Swiss Chalet.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Join us this March for the House of Hearts Charity Bonspiel in Duluth, Minnesota. Help raise funds for Project Joy, who provides meals for hungry kids in our community. Every donation helps to ensure no child goes hungry. Join us and make a difference. Together, we can spread.
And we're back for fourth in action in a 2-2 game here in North Bay. Just a reminder, Curling Stadium will have all of the games on this weekend from every sheet. Not all with commentary, but we will have some select games with commentary. And fortunately for us, you're here listening to us in this one, and we have a great one.
Yeah, good start by Julie Markle herself. First two ends, and she didn't get the rocks in place what she really wanted to in that third end, but she herself off to a great start. We got a 2-2 game. Now Markle's team's got the hammer, and now that one just hung on, I believe, at the back of the 12-foot, but again, not really where they would like it. She's kind of following what most teams do. When the center guard goes up, they go around it. I still kind of I like that, corner guard the odd time just to rattle things up too. But
yeah,
they decided to go around. And
Jamie Sinclair having to work pretty hard to get this one there.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like she's going to do it though.
Yep.
Well swept, well thrown, good shot. Good thing about that one is can't do anything about that guard yet.
That's right.
Looks like a freeze call for Markle. Mentioned these guys are out of Navan, Ontario. Navan had in 2021, Navan had a population of 1,864 people. So whatever curling club is going on there, they have to work hard to keep her going with that number of people.
Yeah, and a lot of I shouldn't say a lot, but oh my God, I don't know why I have these memory blocks with names.
Well,
but
I know why, Terry, but I'm not going to tell you because I might be older than you.
Okay.
I have a lot of those, so
yeah, no, I and of course when they disappear when I want to use it. Now of course, I mean, now that I've stopped talking about it, Jason Cam, I think.
All right, yeah.
He calls himself out of that club as well.
Okay, very good. Good player.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was not a good shot for lead stone Emma Rebel. She won't be happy with that one. And with a couple of guards now to work with and a couple of them being yours, Laurie St. George's will ask Emily Riley to come around it. Jamie having to go hard again. I think this one's going to be light too by my liking.
Well, I think Jamie's going to be saying, well, retirement looks pretty good.
Yeah. She just had it in their contract. We're not playing any more events with only 3 people. Yeah. So appeal attempt for Markle, trying to clean this up a little bit. Actually, if she can make the double and roll away here, she would be it would pretty good setup for her. She'd end up with a corner or 2 and no center guard, but you have to roll away on this.
Yeah, and you can see Jamie and Laurie having quite the conversation in the background.
So a good shot there for Kaylee Delaney. Peel weight shot and certainly clean things up pretty good. You're gonna see another guard go back up here in a minute, but it looks a lot better than it did a second ago. So very good shot.
That's right. Yeah. And with that, one in the back just hanging on. I mean, Laurie certainly doesn't want this really high. She'd like it tight. Not so tight that Julie Markle could kind of hit and roll onto the rings, but you can see where she's tapping about a foot outside the rings.
Yeah, 3-4 feet's good distance. Jamie following this down. Team's just struggling a little bit with draw weight. Both teams really are struggling with draw weight. Certainly not what you wanted, because double and roll is actually there now. And one at the back is maybe in, maybe out, Terry. It looks like it's...
I can't tell.
Yeah, because of where the camera is and where the circle is, it makes you think it probably is in slightly, but...
Yeah.
So Delaney with basically the same shot she just threw. Out turn hit. Might not want to throw it quite as high for weight, but might not be too far from that. Here, and on this right away, would tell me she's a little bit tight.
Yeah, and not going to make the double.
Want to make sure you hang around here, though.
Yeah.
At least by hanging around, probably forces St. George's to hit it, which should leave you in a pretty good position. Well, he's not expecting this rock to curl very much.
Nope.
Emily Riley going hard again. This rock is curling hard. Really hard. She's going to get a piece.
And she'll rub off the red one and keep both of them in play.
That actually worked out probably pretty good.
I was going to say, if she was calling the draw, I just don't understand that given the way she started the end. Like, okay. But she's not, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. You're right. When it was there, I was thinking, you're going to get it there. And then, but I think she was just sort of saying, this is where we'd like it to end up. And this is this is how we're going to get there. So, because they can't, there was not really any way to draw to where she was putting the broom. So out turn, hit and roll now. Third stone, Paige Brown. First of two here in the fourth. I don't know if you want to keep sweeping that. I guess you do.
Got a long, I mean, the rocks, as you mentioned, like, the rolls aren't going as far as maybe we're used to.
No. That's a very nice shot. Just went a little too far to be shot. Probably just maybe a tiny little bit more sweeping than you needed, but it's a good spot. But it does make it a little tough for you to get to the red one, to make that blue one count. You got to go out turn tap, and that's not going to be easy, I don't think. See where St. George's goes. I have to believe she's going to come around. Can't imagine she's going to hit that. Well, I actually don't know what this call is. Do you know where she's playing here, Terry? In turn draw to somewhere. I just don't know where to. This does not curl very much here till the very end. Both of the girls going on it now. Well, I think she made what she wanted. Just not quite sure why you want it there. Myself, but I'm sure there's a good reason. Julie Markle still looking at that blue onto red, I think. Although, yeah, I think you have to play the hit here and roll for shot or second shot. Or
Yeah,
not
I
second
mean,
shot,
by
the double.
playing this, you're definitely leaving yourself, the option of not only the double, but maybe just the hit and roll if you don't, or if you hit too much of this red one. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is the percentage shot.
Yeah, I do totally. Yeah, I don't think if it was easy to make that shot and hit and sit second and third, maybe you consider it. But right now, I think this is definitely the right shot, and
Yeah,
they've played it a few times too, so it's not like they haven't seen it. You can get
that's right.
rolling in the right direction. Should end up in a good spot for you.
Yeah, and she looks pretty good out of her hand anyway.
Yeah,
She's
gonna
got a
throw
good
enough.
shot here. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
real
a
good.
terrific shot. Yeah, it really was the only shot I think in my book. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
mine too.
yeah. You can see it here. They just controlled this shot beautifully down the sheet. Just sweep her on a little bit and then off and then back on to finish it up. And well called by skipper Julie on that one.
Yeah,
Perfect.
looked like about a third of a rock she had to hit, and
Yeah.
well executed.
So if you're St. George's, you're playing the double here.
Well, I mean, I think you are. You're more likely to, at least I guess I would think, to make the double and roll out than you are to. Uh, yeah, that's that. Look, that might be edge on edge, eh?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you might be able to save the shooter, but if it would be, you'd have to be pretty gutsy on the sweep call, I think.
yeah, for sure.
And you're looking at 3 or 4 if you don't get by that one. So
Yeah,
I'm thinking you're going to be a little too safe to make to stay. But
yeah. If
just
you
getting rid
just
of it right now would be good, I think.
Yeah, if you just rub the red guard, I mean,
Yeah.
you might roll the red guard into the rings, but yeah, to play this cute would be to take a lot of risk.
Yeah, the other shot is obviously the come around, and
Yep.
if you can make that perfect, that would be a great shot as well. But it's just a little bit tougher. St. George's now without turn hit. A little bit of a swing on the leg and back. Riley, ready? Going hard now. This is actually going to do exactly what
Yeah,
we wondered if
great
she could
shot.
do. Did lose the back one. I didn't know if that would happen for sure. I thought she might be able to take it by it, but still a very, very good shot.
Yeah, real good. And I mean, you got the outcome that I think was
Yeah.
ideal. I don't think you were ever going to make this double and not lose that red one.
Yeah.
And now, Markle's got a choice. Do I want to
Yeah.
play for 2 and go around, or am I okay with just hitting this? That back one must be on if they're, this
I would
didn't
say, yeah.
this didn't seem to be a long discussion. It was like, yep, put the broom down and let's go.
Yeah, based kind of on the fact that she's playing this shot is I would agree with you that the back one's probably on, because if it isn't on, you could still hit it, but you might say, well, let's try to get our 2 here and go around the guard.
Yeah.
That would be one option. You could hit it and play for a blank, but if you ever roll out, St. George's goes around, then you're going to be forced. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Sterling Markle now with the out turn. She really wants to stay here, and she's a little
She's
bit
on the guard, I think.
like. It's close for
She
sure.
may knock this in to the rings.
Oh, a bit of a
Oh,
disaster.
yeah.
So
Which is kind of what I thought was kind of St. George's,
the risk, yeah.
the risk of playing this too cute. But that's the second time on that out turn hit for Julia Markle that she's missed on the inside.
Yeah.
Might want to watch that and see if that seems to continue to be a pattern, or she does something to fix it real quick.
Yeah. So a big change around this end, just 2 shots, and you went from Markle sitting 2 to St. George's drawing to sit 3. It doesn't take much sometimes. So that's not a good situation for Markle, but the good news is that it's all wide open, and at the very least or very worst, you should have just an open hit and stay for a score. I imagine they want this just top bite the 8-foot kind of thing. Try to take the draw route away a little bit. So probably going to be a little bit deeper than what they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And she will end up on the button more or less.
Yeah.
It's wide open, but it's wide open against 3, Terry, so it's never easy.
No, and she's going to play the out turn too, so.
Yeah, and with a little bit of weight, she doesn't take for, she's got about 4 inches of ice or something, maybe 8 inches of ice.
Yeah.
But you better not underthrow this one, just from what we've seen. Even when you throw them really, really good here, they curl pretty hard.
Yeah.
So Julia Markle, with their last one here in the 4th end, playing an out-turn hit against 3.
Yeah, I'll try and watch this release. Because she definitely has thrown that out turn twice on hits where they've over curled.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't get outside on this one.
No, I think they're going to be okay.
They're going to be okay, yeah.
Stay on it.
Yeah.
And it hangs around for 1 point. So a very nice shot by Julia Markle. Nice recovery after the first one, and didn't seem to ever have any doubt on that shot. That's what I liked about it. But Markle goes up 3-2 after 4 ends, and we will be right back after the break.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Hey Canada, head on down to Montana's and get the best of both worlds. Enjoy our 7-ounce sirloin aged for 50 days, flame grilled and served with your choice of 2 sides and onion rings. Just $25.99 every day. Plus, for a limited time, add a Canadian lobster tail to surf your turf. Only $10 more. Dive into this or our lobster spinach dip, lobster mac and cheese, and more. Only for a limited time. Come for the barbecue, stay for the flavor. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
We had to debate the co-op thing a little bit. So
Yeah,
it was fun. So we're back here now after 4 ends at the Swiss Chalet Women's Curling Stadium Spiel in North Bay, Ontario, for this game between Laurie St. George's and Julia Markle. And Julia came through big on the last end, Terry.
Yeah, I'm a little worried still, and I'm hesitant to say that that Julia's got it back on track, but she made the shot. That's all that counts at the end. I just find that that out-turn hit has kind of been low side the last 3, and so I'm going to just continue to watch that, and I'm going to put that in your head as well, just because I think that that could be an interesting ingredient as we move forward.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to let us call a timeout, Terry. So we're just going to have to watch and talk about it, I guess. So you're not going to be able to go out and fix it.
That's right.
Anyway, but at the end of the day, I agree with you totally. And certainly a little bit of a concern, but a nice save. And as we move
Yeah.
to the fifth end now, we got a great game at 3-2, I guess we have now. Let's just so we're looking at the scoreboard for a second.
Yeah.
And first guard went up and just playing a little tap for Laurie St. George's after the miss from Markle's team.
Mhm.
Emily Riley.
Yeah, this one's way out there and just waiting for it to take the curl.
Jamie bouncing back from one side to the other. She's trying to decide what they want to do. See that a lot, especially when you just have the one sweeper.
One sweeper,
At least she's
yeah.
able to do it. Some people just can't do that at all. And it did
Yeah, I
stop
know,
them.
I know.
And some of them are scary to watch when they try to do it. It's just like, don't bother. It's not worth it. You're going to end up going face first on the rock here.
Yeah, that's where you say, hey, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna wear a helmet.
yeah. Anyway, it worked out pretty good. That's basically, I think, what they're trying to do. They might have been trying to bump it a little bit straighter than that, but that's still pretty good. And it had enough weight that was the best way to make it anyways. So now we get the out-turn hit. Seems like I've been saying out-turn hit all day long. Doesn't matter which way they're going, but this is an out-turn hit.
Yeah.
For second stone. Kaylee Delaney. Going hard to hold this one straight. So obviously spots out here where it does really snap.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
She's probably not going to get a roll.
No.
Yeah, she did.
A little bit one.
Great. Yeah, quite good. Looks like you see probably half and makes the shot a lot more challenging. Discussing whether or not to peel the guard or whether or not perhaps peeling the guard by mistake is okay. Riley with her third of 3 here in the fifth end. Jamie Sinclair slides over to the hold side, straight side, whatever way you want to call that. Looks like she's going to be able to get it by. Will she sneak it by? No, not quite. And left the guard, I think, once it stops, yeah. That one might spin in yet. So, chance to hit number 2 here. You could avoid that. You could ignore that, but would be very, very risky. So, Marker's going to hit number 2. Try to sit 2 after this. Kaylee Delaney again with her final rock here in the fifth.
Yeah, I think she'd prefer just to sit 2.
Yeah, I think a little bit heavy in this. Sweeper's kind of indicates you might be a little heavy, but I think it's going to be good. And it will stay in the 12-foot, and it will. So not one's going to help you score, but it might be one that makes Laurie St. George's have to take one. So let's see. So Jamie Sinclair with her first of 3 here. A good throw. I wonder,
knows it.
Yeah, I was thinking of Jamie being having dual citizenship. I wonder how that works. I wonder if she votes like in the American election a couple of days ago, which we won't talk about, and then can vote in the Canadian election when it comes up. I wonder if you can vote in both when you're a dual citizen. Sounds like you probably could.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question for a politician, I guess.
Yeah, or maybe somebody in the chat. We haven't talked any curling in the chat yet today, so maybe somebody has an answer to that one.
Yeah, because I don't know the answer to that, my friend.
No, I don't know either. I mean, I just wondered maybe you have to declare where you're going to vote, or do you just go ahead and vote both? Anyway, another out turn hit. It's time for third stone, Paige Brown. Pretty solid weight. Looking for just a nose hit at this point. I don't think it's going to roll.
Yeah, she's got a nose hit and again
Yeah.
sits 2.
It's solid end so far for Markle. And this looks like probably going to be a nose hit as well. I don't think it's going to curl enough to roll. I'm going to roll a
Gonna
little
get
bit.
a little one, but
Yeah.
not enough.
No. Nice throw, though. Do you think if she makes this perfect roll that St. George's will ignore it at this point with only 3 rocks to come and go around?
You know, it'd be tempting. I mean, because you're certainly really hoping for a miss if you don't.
Yeah.
With not a high degree of difficulty for the opposition. So
yeah. Actually, I think I think I like that better than nosing it for sure.
Yeah, you got to be looking at trying to get 2 now.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, you're in that area of it's 2 or being forced, one or the other.
Yeah. And you've got enough ends now that the draw weight should be pretty close to in your back pocket at least, for especially to draw only the 8 foot.
Well, my team would say that, and then they would say after I threw 2 weeks ago that no, you don't have a clue of draw weight.
Yeah. I can relate. So Jamie Sinclair throwing the out turn, come around, just kind of watching it now.
Yeah, this is gonna sit down.
Heavy. Looking a lot heavy. Jamie won't be happy with that. The draw weight still remains to be a bit of a struggle for pretty well everybody.
But especially Jamie, like, you know, you certainly would expect, you know, we're in the 5th end, and she has thrown you know, that's not like that's her first draw. She's thrown it heavy, she's thrown it quite light. And there's just another one through the rings. She is really looking to find draw weight.
Yeah, for sure. Julie Markle will try to do the same thing, only better. Trying to make this come around, stay above the tee line and bury it. She's already in pretty decent spot in this end and could improve her position quite a bit by making this one. Sweeper's watching. It's not through the house heavy, but it's definitely back there. Almost through the house heavy. So like we said, it's just for whatever reason today, the draw weight kind of is missing for almost everybody here, but Laurie St. George's, if she can find it, has a chance to get a skip's deuce here on the right side of skip's deuce.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what she's hoping for, as is her. There we got it out.
Yeah.
Her lone sweeper.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So St. George's with a chance to still score 2 here in the 5th end. Emily Riley was shown to be a really good sweeper. I've been impressed with her sweeping skills. I have to work hard to make this one curl, though. Looks again like it's going to be a little bit heavy. Not horrible, though. Pretty nice weight. Probably need a couple feet less, though, to get it to curl enough for you. Julian Markle is going to play a looks like a freeze attempt here, basically. She could probably go after this, but it would carry a little bit of risk. Significantly less ice, I think, than St. George's took for this shot, but maybe she's throwing like a heavy draw, although a heavy draw would probably leave Laurie a chance for 2.
Yeah, I think you really got to commit to what you want to throw here. Like you're either playing the freeze or you're playing like that back line weight. I mean, because she could move it enough to sit 3, but at the same time, you could sit and freeze on that, and this looks pretty good. They may have to go a little bit, but
yeah, going hard. You want to get there, at least get really close to being there.
Yeah, it's over curling as well.
Yeah. So certainly not her best effort, but I'll tell you, the way draw weight's been today, that's about as good as most that have happened today. But Laurie St. George's now has a chance to throw the exact same shot she just threw and pick up 2.
Yeah, this would go a long way in kind of building her confidence here as we move into the second half of this game.
I don't think Julia really had enough ice on that shot, Terry. Like, I know she's a hair light, but when she put the broom down, she took a lot less than Laurie took. And really, if you move that rock, even a full rock to the right, Laurie's shot's a whole heck of a lot harder.
Oh, certainly.
And if you're going to throw it to make sure you're not heavy, anywhere in front of that rock, biting the 4-foot or something makes the 2 very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Let's watch this one, see if she gets it. This one's out a long ways. Needs to curl, but it might need to stop too. So breaking in there pretty hard now.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
It really does.
Great shot.
Perfect.
Terrific shot for Laurie St. George's. She will pick up her 2 here in the 5th end. Take a 4-3 lead to end number 6. And we will be back after the break.
Hey Canada, there's something smoking new at Montana's. Beef brisket is now seasoned and then slow smoked in-house for 12 hours every day. Try it in our new Austin cheesesteak sandwich and other barbecue favorites. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, Spiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Jillian Page.
Yeah, we're back. And we were just talking while we were off air a little bit there, how sometimes that draw weight can be a challenge and how it's important that as a team member, sometimes you just got to accept that you just can't find it, and everybody be upfront on that. And you hate to do that. And at the top levels, I'm sure they don't, but sometimes it's better just to adjust the game plan, I guess, Terry, is what we're saying.
Well, I mean, I think that's true. I mean, when you're asking somebody to make a shot that they've lost their confidence or they've lost their touch. Well, if you've lost your touch, you've lost your confidence in all likelihood. But yeah, when you don't have it, you just gotta go like, guys, I have no idea what draw weight is, and then your skip can, I don't want to say skip around your inability to have command of a shot, but there's no sense asking you to make that freeze when there's an alternative. Maybe there's a hit to be made, or so yeah, I think you just have to be upfront about it. There's no shame in telling the truth.
Yeah, true enough.
And I think it goes a long way in terms of I think your teammates just have that much more respect for you that you can kind of openly admit that hey, I don't know, I have no idea what T line weight is.
Yeah, I played one game and I don't throw with a stick, but I did play one game of afternoon stick curling as a spare about a week and a half ago, and I threw 18 shots, 3 takeouts, made the takeouts, 15 draws. I didn't make any of them.
Yeah.
So there's a good example of me. And I probably was calling my own shots, so I probably should have adjusted something. Anyway.
Yes.
Having said that, yeah, we get the point. That's very valid. So Markle, the center guard went up. Markle tried to come around it, came up short. Georges tried to come around it, came up not quite as short, but a little bit short. Markle's coming around again. And if it's got enough weight, it could be a good one. Needs to bust in there a little bit. You stay on it. Not quite, but is shot rock. And not easy for St. George's to hit it. She might decide just to play a little tap on her own or come around her own.
Yeah, I know, just to kind of finish my point on that is, sometimes I yell down and say, what do you like?
Yeah.
Because I really want them to, throw the shot that they feel that they can make. But usually that's an indication that I don't know what to really call. I know what I like to call, but I'm not sure you can make what I like to call now.
Yeah. And they don't like to answer because then they're responsible for calling the shot. Then they feel that much more pressure to make it because they called it. So
yeah.
Anyway, going hard on this one. This looks like it's going to be a little bit light, probably, and it is. It has been a struggle for draw weight. We've said it a number of times now. We'll pass on that now. So
yeah,
Markle probably needs to either hit that one she just threw and just sit right there, or come around some stuff, or open up the front. That's a lot of options, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, just the way those two are sitting there, that she's touching there in front. I mean, I'm not sure they're great for Team St. George, but
no, you're right. Yeah.
They do occupy that kind of control zone that I make reference to all the time. They're just, with the way they're, they're not overlapped, but they're touching. So
yeah. Well, that's not bad, actually. I figured if she was going to play that would be about the way that she'd want it. I know it's tappable now for St. George's, but
yeah,
at least she didn't make the shot for her. I thought if it ever hung out there a little bit, she might make the shot for her and hit the red. The red ends up on the blue, but so Jamie Sinclair now will be asked to come around it.
And certainly this would be an example where you might want to call the tap versus the straight draw,
Yeah, I'd be
given the
thinking hard.
struggles.
Yeah. Yeah. This one looks pretty good, though. I think.
Yeah,
Maybe a
I
little
got
deep.
yeah, I got 14-2 on it. I mean, I don't know how close I was, just doing it based on the visuals, but
You're probably pretty close.
yeah,
Not going to be this close on the ice. I'm
that's
only
it.
I'm only probably 18 inches away from the line, so anyway, she should be able to get it right. So now the hit coming for Team Markle. Second stone, Kaylee Delaney. Once they remove the red that's there for promotion, and probably not a bad idea. She gets by the front one. Needs to get by the front one, and she will.
And now she's sitting 2-3.
2-3, so yeah. Well, Laurie's going to play a hit and roll. I thought she might ignore that and just come right around again, since Jamie just threw the draw and really was closer on than most of the draws that we've seen today. So I thought she might ignore this one. I know it's risky to ignore it, but as long as you get some curl on yours, which you should, then not really a lot of risk, I don't think.
No, I see what you're saying. I mean, I guess if you went in behind, I mean, certainly that blue one in the control zone is promotable, not only for a tap, but also for, a run back.
Yeah. Or you
Good
can just
shot.
do it that way. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great shot. Yeah, for sure. You'll see it here. They controlled this one nicely. Only doing some sweeping, and I think they figured out they now need to hit less of the rocks than they thought they had to hit early in the game to make the rolls.
Yeah.
And by hitting that little bit, what it was probably only about a third of the stone, you might think you're going to roll out some weeks, but not today. It's just a little bit heavier there not heavier, but a little bit. What's the word? The bounce off the rocks is not quite as much. So interesting for this team.
I noticed, look at our club, the Rocks are this is only their second year. So, for me, they don't seem they don't seem very lively, the striking bands, but it may just because they're also they're probably a little sharper too, but
yeah. Well, I'm with you. Actually, we have a very similar situation. We got all the striking bands redone last year, and everybody's really excited about it. Thought they were gonna be much better, but they sometimes aren't. So not last year. Got new rocks a couple of years ago. So
yeah,
same idea. I thought they were going to be really, really lively, and they're better probably, but not radically. Certainly for where we don't really have any seriously competitive players anymore. So we don't really need to have rocks that are crazy, crazy lively. A friend of mine says, "Well, at least we can make crosshouse doubles now." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, yeah,
that's right."
Got to be you and maybe one other guy in the club or something that can do that." So here comes it looks like just a raise really here for that could be a great shot. You can get the line lined up right. It's curling a lot.
I'm a little surprised at the call, but
me too. But it's going to over
curl. Go off the red one.
So in some trouble now for sure. I think St. George's comes around that right where Broome is, or somewhere in that neighborhood. It's going to be a difficult situation for Markle when she gets to her shot. So I guess we still have one more before we get to her shot. So going to have a little chat about it.
Yeah, I thought, maybe Markle would have played, a tap on the one that we can see half of or to 3/4 of.
Yeah. On the outside side?
Yeah, just so that she opened up, even that rock to herself. Because if she could just promote it, by hitting 3/4 of a rock, she probably stays kind of right there. And and then it forces St. George to, I think, gamble a little bit whether you come around on the in turn or whether you make a play on the shot that Markle's team would have just thrown. But that's not the way it ended up. So
no, but you're right. It would have it sort of opened up both sides that way, so that you'd have something left if if Laurie decides to play this shot, for example, then you'd have the other hit on the other one. So yeah, that was certainly a thought. It's Jamie Sinclair, in turn draw. First shot this end was also a draw that just ended up at the back of the 8 foot there. So should be pretty close on this one. Riley going fairly hard. It was, but they've settled down, so the weight must be close.
That looks pretty good.
They're going to miss a little bit of it here. We'll find out where it ends up at least in a minute.
I was going to say we have
frozen up. I'm frozen up a little bit.
Yep, me too.
Oh, there it is. That absolutely perfect. I think. Yeah. Although it's the raised takeout's definitely there, but you're going to sit number. Well, you sit number 2. No, you're probably going to sit number 3 if you make it.
Yeah.
But you might open it up a little bit, which now would probably be more important.
So, Jim, I didn't know you had a locksmithing business in North Bay.
No, I didn't know either.
Behind the hack, them throwing there the sign, Jim's Locksmithing.
Oh, go away. Yeah. No, I don't. I know I don't, because back when my young fellow was really young, I locked the car doors and I couldn't get into it. So I had to call somebody to do that.
They might get something out of this. No,
that's a little bit unlucky there. That was almost an amazing shot. He's going to have a tough one on the last one, no matter what happens here. You're going to see this again. You can see there wasn't a lot of room to come by that other blue one, but
I thought they might get the one on the edge of the 4.
Yeah,
but they get nothing out of this.
No.
Well, nothing good for them.
No. So, you got 2 rocks each to come. So, where's your thoughts on this one, Terry?
Well, I mean, I'm probably I think I'm playing the out turn myself, just because I'd want. Well, no, I guess that would be my in turn. Sorry, I got from where I was looking there, but I'd play my in turn, which is what they're doing here, and I wouldn't be totally upset if I promoted that rock, just a teeny bit, and if I'm in the top 12, I mean, I'm still good with it.
Yeah, I think if I'm going to go this way, I actually do want to definitely bump it a little bit.
I do, yeah.
I think that the Markle can come around on the out turn. We know it will bust in there a little bit, and maybe still be able to get shot rock over there with very gutsy calling. But right now, it's going to take some kind of gutsy calling to get out of this. So it might be there if you're there. Although I'd also feel pretty good if this one stopped a little bit shorter than that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going like, what do I want to leave her? I'll leave her the out turn draw because, I mean, again, my past experience watching her just in this game has told me that, maybe her out turn is the weaker of the 2 turns.
Sure, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm leaving her that.
Well, let's see what we had out of this one. Laurie calling the sweeper off.
You don't want to hit it on the high side.
Definitely going to bump, and bump pretty hard. That's interesting. You could go right through there on the in turn and freeze to it. Or you might have to rub off that one. I don't know, but. I think as far as getting shot rock, probably the intern is a little bit easier, isn't it, Terry? I know the hole looks pretty small, but I think it's a better result.
Yeah.
Scary, though.
Well, yeah, you're right. It is. that would be that certainly would be my preference to throw it.
Yeah.
I mean, currently, you're looking at 4, and
Yeah,
if you
6
thought
then
about it,
yeah.
if you thought about it in terms of what's my best opportunity to get 2, I think that is the shot come down. But I would probably be thinking not how do I get 2, is how do I make sure 1.
Yeah, I'm thinking 1 right now looks pretty big. I tie
Yeah.
it up with hammer after 6. Not with hammer, but with hammer and even end. And
Yeah, no.
so I'm thinking 1 would
for
be
sure, for
yeah.
sure.
And not only that, if you do make the shot, you might have a shot at 2 after this, depending on how aggressive Laurie St. George's is with hers.
Yeah. I mean, I think Laurie's been trying to put this kind of pressure on Team Markle now all game, and she's finally, got it where she wants it.
Yeah.
Because this is no, easy bargain here.
Oh no, definitely not. Not an easy shot at all.
And you cannot be light.
No, the girls are going awfully hard.
If this is the right weight, this is good, but it looks light.
It looks light, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely light. It's on the guard. Yeah, that was 12 feet light, probably.
Yeah, I mean, those are one of those ones. Like I honestly feel like you have to be positive with.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like hack weight positive, but
No,
I mean,
yeah.
I just think, I think for me anyway, when I'm throwing those, like the tolerance is, to be back 8 foot, back 12 foot versus short.
Yeah. Yeah, at the very least, be T line on its own, right? So
yeah.
So it's not they don't need to sweep it to get it to the T line. Yeah.
And then your sweeping is all about keeping it straight or carving it.
Yeah. And I think you're right. I think the line, add a little bit of weight to that, and I think the line is pretty good. It certainly was coming in well.
Yeah, I don't like your options here to try and score. I mean, even that the in-offs don't look that inviting.
No, and you move the red one over, so now the outturn hit on the red one's not even there.
But I mean, we'll see what Laurie St. George's leaves, and
yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah,
and we can talk about Markle.
Yeah. So Laurie's probably playing a little tap on the red, but you got to be.
She indicated a tap, yeah.
Yeah, you got to be really careful you don't open that route up either. And I think she will be pretty careful. Yeah, it's not very heavy, so.
Yeah, I got 14 on it, so it's definitely there.
Over curls, though, it's a problem.
Well, that might give her an out. I don't know. I mean, certainly that intern draw now is, a lot better, I think, than what her in-offs looked like.
Yeah, if that curled an inch more or so, maybe
Yeah.
an inch and a half more, then it would have given her very much an open invitation to score. Now she does have to make a heck of a shot to get down there.
Yeah.
You might have a chance. I don't know if you can score, but you might be able to at least make it a 1 instead of 5 or whatever it is there.
Yeah, she is looking at 5. I mean, first things first. I mean, you have to make sure you get past that 1 on the top 12 that Laurie just threw, but.
Julie and Markle with their last rock in the 6th end, facing a bundle in a 4-3 game that she trails by 1. Really
just got to
needs to
sweep
score.
this for line. And they got to get it there.
I think it was really close. I just don't know if they swept this one.
Oh, they didn't sweep it enough. Oh, that's a big 4.
That is a shame. That was actually, I think that was pretty close. Yeah, she might even have 5 out of that, but
I agree.
Yeah, it was enough to force handshakes here. So
wow,
this one all of a sudden is over, and it certainly didn't look like that was going to be the case. It looked like we were going to go right down to the wire with this one. And Laurie St. George's with a great 6th end, picks up 4 or 5, and ends up with an 8 or 9-3 win. Pretty good game overall, Terry. Just teams struggled a little bit with draw weight, and it was a nice close game at least until then.
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams struggled with draw weight. Team Markle and certainly Markle herself got off to just a wonderful start. Unfortunately, she didn't finish very good in that 6th end. Kind of coming up short, and then I guess we'll call it maybe a team shot on her last one, whether it was the sweepers or
Sure.
Just failure to provide good direction on the line there. She didn't end well, but
so just a final reminder that we will be covering all the games here this weekend on Curling Stadium North Bay, and looking forward to that. And Terry and I will be back this evening.
Yes, we will.
Those late games and enjoy the rest of the event. So for Jim Nix and Terry Corbin, we'll sign off for now and talk to you later today from the Swiss Chalet Women's Curling Stadium Spiel in North Bay, Ontario.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
'Tis the season to enjoy Swiss Chalet's festive special. Canada's favorite rotisserie chicken, cranberry sauce, stuffing, Lindor chocolates, and a scratch and win card where everyone's a winner. Your favorite tradition, the festive special. Only $17.99, only at Swiss Chalet.